So when any sort of case law has been adopted by judges, then we would have further treatment of this case in any other case which relates to more or less the same material facts. And then we can have two kinds of treatment, a positive treatment or negative treatment. Could you a little bit explain to us, especially in regard to positive treatment? Obviously, negative, there's like, we can distinguish case, we can disapprove it, overrule. What about positive treatment? What is the difference between a case being approved, applied, or followed? If you could a little bit expand on that.
So I'd start with approved and say that approving of a case doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be followed. It may, for example, even be a decision that is not directly relevant in terms of binding precedent, but simply one that is considered. The judges may consider a case and just say, yes, we approve of that decision. Not directly relevant here, but we do approve of the decision in that case. The application as well may not necessarily be the same as following. You can apply a legal principle without following a specific precedent. So I could apply something in my case that was decided in an earlier case without following the specific rule or outcome in the earlier case. Following then is to directly follow with the same or similar outcome.
Now let's go back to the courts and try to explain which court actually may apply which court's decision. So I don't think it is the same for all the courts, isn't it? Like there are more Supreme courts.
Yeah. So as we said, the UK Supreme Court has the ability to effectively go against its own previous decisions. They have a lot more autonomy in terms of what they can do. The Court of Appeal is bound by the decisions of the UK Supreme Court, but not by any courts below it, and can depart from their own previous decisions in those limited circumstances that we looked at on the previous slide. The further we go down this hierarchy, we have to follow effectively everything above. So any decisions in the courts above, we have to follow below. So, for example, the High Court is bound by the decisions of the Court of Appeal and of the UK Supreme Court. The tribunals are more of a specialized area for dealing with things, as we see on here, like employment tribunals. We have tribunals here, I think, as well, would be related to land. They work within the same system. They're still in HMCTS, Her Majesty's, or His Majesty now's Courts and Tribunals Service, but they sort of sit a little bit apart. They follow a lot of the same rules generally, but the decision-making is not quite going to be the same.
And that decision still can be overruled by, for example, Court of Appeal or Supreme Court?
Yes, yeah.
Good.